Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And I think it's been a while since I've done a horror movie review. So we're doing one that I have watched a few times, at least 4 or 5. Today was probably the fifth viewing, and I'm talking about The Mist, as you can see from the title. Probably one of my favorite horror movies with possibly the biggest um, tragic ending. I don't know if you can call it the biggest. Definitely is one that actually sticks in my mind as the biggest. Probably there's something else out there that's equally as devastating, but for me, this is actually the one that really shook me towards the end when I first saw this film. Uh, it's based on a Stephen King novella, which is called The Mist itself. I don't actually remember how it ends in that story. I've read that book. I read the story basically, but I can't remember because I think I've only read it once. So I don't remember if the movie matches the ending, especially of the film. Sorry, of the book, of the novella. So The Mist, also known as Stephen King's The Mist, excuse me, is a 2007 science fiction horror film based on the 1980 novella The Mist by Stephen King. Now I'm going to try and update my Stephen King collection. I don't really read that many books anymore, but I do want to have his because he is my favorite author of all time. Directed and written by Frank Darabont, who later on went to create the Walking Dead series, of course. And it's got an ensemble cast starring Thomas Jane, Marsha Gay Harden, Nathan Gambale, I think that's how you pronounce it, Andre Brog, Toby Jones, of course, wonderful actor, Francis Sternhagen, Buck Taylor, William Sadler, Sam Witwer, Alexa Davalos, which I'm actually watching her on FBI Most Wanted these days, and of course she was on Angel as well. Chris Owen, Andy Stahl, Jeffrey DeMunn, who's also from The Walking Dead. Melissa McBride, who's got a small role in this movie, and she's much younger, of course, in this movie. And Laurie Holden, again, former Walking Dead alumnus, and of course, I can't forget her role in The X-Files. Yeah, so this film basically is a mist that is created because there is an experiment done I think this is somewhere in, of course, it is in Maine. It's on the coastline, I guess, and what happens is there is an experiment done by scientists connected to the military. They try to they don't actually show any of that, but they do mention this towards the end of the film, that they try to open up portals into the multiverse, basically, different dimensions, different universes, and from one of them came out the mist, and along with the mist came out these creatures. So there are various of them. Some are these locust, huge, big winged creatures that suck the blood from your neck and then gives you an infection. These hideously disgusting, bigger dinosaur-looking flying things that come and eat the locusts, and of course attack humans as well. Some other creatures that are from fantasy and science fiction and horror, and the spiders, these most disgusting thing ever. Ugh. I would rather blow my brains out than actually be swarmed by those. The baby spiders are the big one, and and the spiders shoot webs that basically work like acid. So with the start of the film, we have this artist, David Drayton, and his wife Stephanie. Their 8-year-old son Billy, during a storm in their house, a couple of damages happen. The next day and the power goes out, so he goes with his neighbor to go. Neighbor who initially they've had some problems, but they're trying to help each other out. They go to the local supermarket, try to get connected to because the phones are also out. The mobile services also seem to be out. While there, a lot of people actually trying to stock up on food and other essentials because they know they could be couple of days without power and some other stuff. While that's happening, Jeffrey DeMunn's character comes running in because and they see this mist coming in, and towards the store, and he says he's got blood running over. He says these creatures, something came and attacked them, and he could hear screaming, and then this creature started attacking. So basically now you've got the people who were stuck in the store. A couple of people try to escape. They are dragged away by these creatures. You can hear their screaming noises coming out. So panic sets in, of course. People start dying. The creatures start attacking. They need medicine and supplies. But they've got food and most of the other things, but they do need stronger medicine for some of the wounded people, including one burn victim. And unfortunately, they are not able to get it because of the spiders, the disgusting spiders. And then, yes, in the middle of this, there is the religious aspect. So Mrs. Carmody, who is a religious fanatic, she starts preaching about Armageddon. She starts speaking Jesus this, Jesus that, God this, God that, the Bible and all that crap, all that religious nonsense that actually comes in. And let me tell you, even though she isn't the main star of the movie, she's the villain. Marcia Gay Harden. Now I am going to tell you this. I love this actress. I love this woman so much. She is so talented that she could make me a fan of hers, a fan of her previous acting, hate her so much in this film because of the despicable religious fundy that she becomes in this movie. She was already a fundy, but yeah, she becomes even worse, and she even managed to get a lot of people on her side. And she gets shot, and yeah, I did celebrate when she gets killed at the end. So there's rival factions. People are getting there are a couple of military personnel there, and that's when they take hold of one of the guys, and he is forced to admit that yes, he knew about some of this. He wasn't part of it. He is just stationed there. And he admits that this is actually what happened. That he didn't know the extent of it. He didn't know that these creatures would actually come out. He just knew that they opened the rift into the new dimension, into other dimensions. Unfortunately, a lot of them get killed. Toby Jones gets killed. Everybody gets killed. William Sadler also plays initially he's along with the rest of them, but he moves on the side of the fanatics, and basically he goes a little bonkers as well. Nathan Gambali is the son. Sorry, I didn't actually know that. Okay. And yeah, so at the end, after killing Mrs. Carmody and pushing her people away, our main group tries to escape. Several of them get killed. Thomas Jane's character David, his son, Laurie Holden's character Amanda Dunphy, who is a teacher at the school, and Jeffrey Demon's character Dan Miller, and the elderly teacher who played by Frances Terhagen. They are the only ones who manage to get into the car and escape. They try to go as far as they can. However, when the fuel runs out, the only other option, they know that things are going to attack them. So they have a gun with them. I think it's Laurie Holden's gun, Amanda's gun, and there's only 4 bullets. So David decides to do the mercy thing and shoots all 4 of them dead, and then starts crying because he had to shoot his own son. He had to shoot his friends, and then in his grief and traumatic experience that he's already had, he gets out of the car and starts taunting, trying to look for the creatures to try and attack him in the mist. And then the mist starts to slowly clear, and then you see that had he waited a little bit, rescue was at hand. He didn't have to shoot his son and the others, because the entire military strength has actually come out in tanks, and they've been clearing the place. They've been destroying the creatures. They have the upper hand. The creatures are mostly taken care of, and a lot of people have been rescued, and they're on the way. And David breaks down because how do you come back from that? That is an amazingly done scene. Hats off to the director and producers. Hats off to Thomas Jane as well. That is actually something that sticks in your mind towards the end. It's a really sad ending. For me, this is one of the primary films in horror that I can actually think of. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. I really like this film quite a lot. Yeah, that's basically it for one of my favorites. This is, I think, my fifth or sixth time, as I mentioned, that I've watched this film. So, must watch for a lot of horror fans. Thank you very much, guys, especially if you like Stephen King. So, do give it a show. Do give it a watch. And if you have it in a collection, which I do have in mine, right over there. Thank you, guys. I just watched it this afternoon, so back it goes over there. Have a good night. Bye bye.